Welcome back to another episode of Operation Arsenal. It was the Champions League round 2, our first home game, and we've beaten Olympiacos 2-0 in a very convincing, I would argue, controlled way. It was a very, very controlled game, even though there was a little bit of a scare with a disallowed goal for Olympiacos, which would have been 1-1. And it took us until the 92nd minute to get that second goal, thanks to Saka. Really frustrating because it keeps happening. We're creating so many chances, especially in the early parts of games that we're playing. We're dominating, we're creating chances, but we're just not putting them away. You know, once again, 16 shots and only 2 goals. You've got to be more efficient. We need to be more efficient with our shooting if we're going to bury games, because I'm actually getting a little bit frustrated that after each game we've been the better side, we've dominated, we've had all these chances, but we're just not burying them all. So we've got a few things to go through tonight. First of all, I want to talk about Olympiacos because I don't think they were awful today. It's just so difficult to come to the Emirates, and obviously they've tried to do what most teams do. They arrive and kind of sit back and defend and try and hit you on the break. And actually at times they were relatively effective at that. They were able to break us down, whether it was crossing. I think crossing was their best chance really to get anything out of this game. For some reason, their crosses were getting into dangerous areas and we weren't clearing them. It was El Khabi, I think, who had the disallowed goal. He was somewhat a threat. And defensively, they were actually pretty solid. You know, when you think about the chances we created, yes, we should have scored more, but a lot of the time, they defended quite well. They were resolute. They were strong. They positionally were able to, I think, sniff out most of the big chances. So I really don't think Olympiacos were that bad. But on another day, and especially if Trossard was benched, we're going to talk about that because I swear he's a different player, okay? There are 2 Trossards. If we had the other Trossard that we constantly see coming off the bench, then this could have been 3-0, 4-0. My phone's buzzing. Sorry, I forgot to mute it. So should we talk about that now? This man right here, he's such a great player. He's a fantastic and efficient player when he wants to be, because you see it. You've seen it so far this season, especially with his cameos when he comes off the bench. He is arguably one of the best players this season, coming off the bench and just burying a chance near the end of the game and finishing it off. Why is Trossard a different player when he starts games? I'm telling you, okay, if he came on 65th minute, something like that, he would have had 2 goals, 3 goals, maybe a hat-trick. Unbelievable. He had so many great chances. He was really, really good at bending those runs in behind with Gyokeres and, you know, distractions from maybe Odegaard and Martinelli on the other side as well, pulling defenders away. And he found himself in some great positions, and they're all quite similar in this kind of like left side of the box. Just wasn't able to score today, which will really frustrate him because he did deserve one, didn't he? And it just goes to show how strong this squad is. You know, Trossard, despite a summer where we were absolutely certain on needing a left winger, he has actually been one of our best players this season. I thought Marino in behind him was good today. It was a shame, actually, Marino got subbed off. I think he's deserved some more minutes. He's been great when he's needed. Obviously got us back in the game against Newcastle. Zubimendi, though, oh my God, we have signed an absolute magician. Once again, just orchestrating everything in midfield. Him and Odegaard, I think, you know, and obviously you throw Rice in there, whatever, Marino. It just complements the 3 midfield so well. Having Zubimendi, who isn't the most defensive player, but he does that side to the game very well. It's his first touch. He moves the ball so quickly. People are going to go mad at me for saying this, but he reminds me of Busquets in some ways, okay? Busquets, for me, is the best player of all time at receiving the ball in the heart of midfield and taking a touch or moving it on first time to such a high level. I don't think anyone's done it as well as Busquets. There might be some other names out there I could name, but that's what I'm reminded of. Obviously not to the same level. Zubimendi isn't Busquets. But I'm telling you, the quality of the ball, the first time pass, the drag away from the defender, like that's what Busquets did so well with his long legs. He would drag the ball away from them. Zubimendi doesn't quite have that, but he's obviously more agile. He's got a bit more acceleration. He's just as effective in this Arsenal team as Busquets was for that Barcelona team in that heart of midfield role. And it gives Odegaard a lot more confidence to receive the ball quickly as well, get himself off, on the turn. And that's what's enabling Rice to do so much more in that number 8 role this season, and Marino as well. I absolutely love Zubimendi. He was everywhere today, everywhere. But rightly so, the highest rating has been given to Martin Odegaard. He was sublime today. I'm really hoping we can keep that shoulder fit. He was saying that it's not a typical injury. It just feels painful all the time. And I think I know, obviously I haven't had an impact or anything like that in a professional football game, but those kind of injuries where it feels like you've got a bruised bone and it just takes so long to recover, and just the slightest knock makes it reset and go bad again. He's clearly experiencing a lot of pain in that shoulder. Hopefully it will clear up over the next coming weeks. But it's not one of those injuries where he shouldn't play on because it'll make it worse. It's just painful. It's pain. Pain management. Hopefully he's right and he should be fine now as long as he can keep the pain under control. Let's talk about our back four and Raya. I mean, Raya was superb as well. Got an 8.3. Some of the saves he made today. It was this one in particular in the 20th minute. Does it say who did? Fotmob is incredible, isn't it? But I would just love to see who it was who had the shot. It was such a good save. Yeah, Raya was outstanding. I thought Ben White actually had a better game than people are giving him credit for. I've seen a few people saying that he was off it today. I mean, he hasn't been fit for so long, and he was Mr. Consistent. He was always playing, and now he's obviously been out injured, and he's got Timber to fight with for that position. But you could tell not quite fully fit and back to his best just yet. But Saliba, Gabriel, and especially Lewis Skelly impressed me again. Saliba's just obviously the Rolls Royce he is. Gabriel says he's picked up an injury, and I'm hoping it's not. If anything, I think he got taken off because of the yellow. And that reminds me, actually, both Rice and Zubimendi have already got a yellow as well. So I'm hoping they can maybe pick another yellow up soon and then serve that suspension against one of the lesser teams. We need to get those suspensions out of the way early because we cannot have these players out for the big games coming up. But Lewis Skelly impressed me so much today. He hasn't had many minutes this season, and he just comes into a game like this. Unbelievable. When he gets into this kind of position, when he's in their midfield, and he's just... I mean, he's so good at receiving the ball and just getting fouls. It's risky. If it goes wrong, we've seen him make it an issue for us a couple of times where he's gone down and hoped for a free kick and maybe hasn't got it. But he's such a creative player, and the cross that we could have scored in the first minute or two was perfection. I want to see more of that from Lewis Skelly. But let's talk about Gyokeres. I think, a lot of people, again, are going to just look at the result, look at the stats, look at his rating, and see he hasn't scored. Oh, he's flopped again. But do people realise that if you watch football with your eyes, you can actually see what's actually happening? Gyokeres, again, just like against Newcastle, yeah, on paper, it's a quiet game, isn't it? Because he hasn't contributed an assist or a goal, or maybe hasn't had many passes or involvements. But when you watch what he does, my God, he's gonna score goals. It is taking a bit of time, but what he's doing is immeasurable in terms of benefiting the players around him. Martinelli had so much more freedom. Trossard as well. With the runs that Gyokeres makes, the physicality, oh my God, he doesn't look particularly pleasing on the eye when he's running. He looks like he's almost too heavy, right? He's too heavy for his own good. He looks like a truck. It's unbelievable. But when he's at top speed, when he's battling with defenders and shrugging them off, I'm not sure there's a better player in the world in that very moment. If he can sort out that last little part, which he's so good at and has been so good at Sporting, and it's just obviously a different level here. We're playing in the Premier League week in, week out. Olympiacos, I would expect a little bit more from him today against Olympiacos, and he very nearly scored. He hit the post, which then Martinelli's obviously scored with the tap in. Would have loved that to have gone in. I really would have liked that. All in all, guys, I'm really happy with this result because one of those games you could slip up in. I know I say that a lot, but, you know, we could have played a weaker side and just slipped up today, and we haven't. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at the table. We've had quite a few teams play. Oh, everyone's played, haven't they? Yeah, 2 games. So right now, we are in 5th, which is really good. We've scored 4, and we haven't conceded a single goal. And obviously 2 wins. We beat Athletic Club 2-0, and then we've got a 2-0 win here as well. By the way, I just saw highlights from the Barcelona game. Wait, did they lose? Oh, they did. They lost in the end. But sorry, I just got distracted by the Yamal dribbling and something else. I think a lot of people will say that Arsenal will be up there this season, and obviously it is early. We don't know for sure if we're going to be going 1 step, 2 steps further, 1 step to get to the final, another step to win it. But I just have a feeling, guys, something's happening. Maybe the Premier League isn't going to happen. I don't know what it is. It does feel like Liverpool, despite the fact that they're not even playing at their best, they're still grinding out these results. They are getting fortunate in games. It just reeks of the Prem ain't going to happen, but maybe the Champions League will. I'm just... Let's not go there. Thank you for watching, guys. Next game coming up on the weekend. Really excited for that one. But I can't help it. My eyes are on this competition. I want to see us lift it. I really do. Please. Oh, my God. Imagine the scenes.